This year is Boom Studios' Go-Go Power Rangers comic issue number 20. The backstory for this issue goes to Zack. It's 5 years before arrival day and Zack is dropped off at the youth centre by his dad. Zack's not happy because he'd rather hang out with his cousin, Curtis. Straight away we get a nice nod to the second season of the original TV series where Curtis was introduced and made the viewers think that he might become the new White Ranger. Here, Zack seems really close with Curtis as they hang out every day. Zack's dad is trying to make him aware that it's a big world and there are other cool people in it. We then see that this is actually the grand opening of the youth centre, and what's great about this is we see Ernie's reasoning for opening the youth centre. It turns out that Ernie was a bit of a gym rat in the past. His uncle owned a gym and there was a boy named Scott who was there all the time, right until the gym closed. Scott was there because there was trouble at home. The gym was the only place he felt safe. That inspired Ernie to open his own gym and juice bar, so kids could go and make friends. Zack sees all the young people at the youth centre and says the place isn't horrible. And it's here Zack meets Jason. So it was great to see how the youth centre brought Jason and Zack together on its first day of opening. Back to the main story, and we pick up immediately from where the last issue left us. Goldar and the others have made their way into the youth centre and want the Power Rangers to show themselves because he needs just one of them to surrender themselves over, to be the sacrifice for the Green Ranger powers. Bulk and Skull are also at the youth centre and get caught up in the situation. Bulk tries to make a run for it, but is stopped by Goldar. Bulk is told that he has nothing to fear because Goldar just wants the Power Rangers. Kimberly wants to morph, but Trini reminds her that there are too many witnesses around. They just need to hold out until the other Rangers arrive. Rita is watching the events unfold from the moon. She calls her minions stupid, and Lady Fionna tells her she's not fooling anyone. Rita calls her minions stupid, but Fionna senses that Rita actually loves them. She may have a point. We've seen Rita imprison or destroy those who failed her before. Yet, even as Goldar, Squat and Babu keep failing, Rita forgives them. So Rita asks if Master Vile loved Lady Fionna. She responds by saying she believed he did. And the reason for that is because Vile gave Fionna Rita. Apparently, Vile wasn't always what he thought he was. He used to be forgiving and gentle, so he must have had a different form in the past. I can't imagine this Vile being forgiving and gentle. Fionna goes on to say that Vile may be lost to her forever, but Rita can still feel love, and that means she's never beyond redemption. That may be the case. In Countdown to Destruction, Zordon's energy wave wiped out most evil at the time. Rita and Zed were married, so they obviously felt love, and turned to ordinary humans. Zack and Billy see what's going on at the youth centre through the viewing globe at the command centre. They morph into their Ranger forms, and as Alpha 1 begins to explain his plan of escorting civilians to safety, Zordon stops him and says they shouldn't escalate the situation further. He says the Rangers alone are capable, so Alpha 1 should remain. Zack then stops Zordon and says Alpha 1 is going with them. He tells Zordon that he knows everyone in the youth centre, and if Alpha 1 can help end the fight sooner, then he's going along. Zack still acting like a brat as he gives Zordon the ultimatum: waste time and argue about the plan of action whilst people get killed, or let Alpha 1 go with them into battle. Zordon gives in and tells Alpha 5 to teleport them in. Things are heating up at the youth centre and Kimberly is about to go into action when Jason suddenly appears as the Red Ranger. Goldar tells Jason that he would like to best him in combat, but that's not what Rita wants this time. He just wants Jason to surrender himself, otherwise Goldar will kill everyone, beginning with Bulk. Jason agrees to Goldar's terms once everyone in the youth centre are out safely. Goldar releases Bulk and allows everyone to leave. Suddenly, cups and bowls hit Goldar, and we see it was the civilians, including Skull, sticking up for the Red Ranger. It's great seeing Skull fight back compared to Bulk trying to run away. With the civilians hurling items at Rita's minions, Kimberly and Trini can make a run for it and morph. Goldar has had enough and says that everyone will die. But then Zack, Billy and Alpha 1 arrive on the scene. So all the Rangers plus Alpha 1 have gathered together now. Jason's plan is for the Rangers to get everyone clear. He will take on Goldar himself. Kimberly takes on Squat and Babu, and she uses her gymnastics to hit Squat with her feet and her martial arts to kick Babu. It's very rare to see them getting attacked by the Rangers because they don't really fight. Anyway, Kimberly issues a warning by aiming arrows at Squat and Babu, so they teleport away to safety. Kimberly's ex, Matt, approaches her and says thank you for saving everyone, and then compliments her on her skills. It's good to see the two of them talk again, even though Matt was doing all the talking and Kimberly only said thanks. Maybe they can reconcile as friends in future. With the civilians out of the way, the Rangers are left watching Jason fight Goldar. Jason is not going down, as Goldar tells him he can't hold out forever. One of the Rangers will fall, and they will see if their soul is worthy. Goldar is about to take a crack at Jason's head, but then he is blasted by Alpha 1. He tells the Rangers he cannot allow the fight to continue. His scrambler will keep Goldar from teleporting away, and he advises the Rangers to execute Goldar to send a message to Rita and Zordon that this charade of war ends today. That shocks Kimberly and the others. Alpha 1 reminds Zack that he wanted to end the cycle and change the rules. But as the Rangers aren't willing to end Goldar, Alpha 1 says he'll save them from themselves as he gets ready to execute Goldar. Zack tells Alpha 1 he knows what he's trying to do, but then Alpha 1 knocks him away and is ready to kill Goldar. Despite Goldar saying he wasn't scared only moments ago, he covers his face and pleads with Alpha 1. He's not so tough after all. Before Alpha 1 can shoot, he gets shot by Trini's blade blaster. Trini tells him she never did like him. Jason tells the Rangers to hit Alpha 1 fast and to disable his cannons. Alpha 1 unleashes some energy to knock the Rangers back and then imprisons them in a force field. So, Alpha 1's shown his true colours, and he reveals that his quarrels aren't with the Rangers, but with Zordon. This goes way back to when Alpha 1 was believed to have been destroyed. After Alpha 1 was rebuilt, he travelled the galaxy fighting in Zordon's name, and discovered that Zordon's methods allowed people to suffer. That's because Zordon is so secretive and never escalates a fight. So his restrictions left worlds unprotected. That lets the war go on for a millennia. Well, he has a point. But Zordon defends his approach as he tells Alpha 1 he could end the war if he sets aside mercy, pity and compassion. But what about those who are fighting right now? All those who have bled and died for those ideals? How will Zordon look them in the eye and tell them that their sacrifice meant nothing? That really sets Alpha 1 off as he asks Zordon if that's all he was. A sacrifice for the right way as he was sent unprepared right into a trap. Alpha 1 decides that Zordon can no longer dictate the terms of good and evil. He hoped the Rangers would see his way through Zordon's failings, but concludes that the Rangers are too brainwashed. Alpha 1 takes to the air as he tells Zordon he will recruit new warriors, more suitable than children. He was programmed to bring Zordon's dream of peace and prosperity to the universe, and he'll achieve that goal even if it means eliminating Zordon in the process. And this issue ends with Alpha 1 merging with the vehicles outside to become one large mecha, resembling something from Transformers rather than Power Rangers. This was a very good issue because it sets things up nicely for the upcoming Forever Rangers. Alpha 1 has gone rogue, that was obviously going to happen, and we see that it was Zordon's methods that made Alpha 1 go off the rails. I do sympathise a bit with Alpha 1 because he has a point. Zordon does take a passive approach and allowed the war to continue. He could have ended things a lot earlier if he wanted to. Zordon's methods are often criticised among the Power Rangers fanbase. So what do you think? Does Alpha 1 have a point and is Zordon too passive?